Hi, my name's Christy. I'm an EF at Julian Charter School, and I also homeschool my own two girls who are ages 6 and 8. And today I just want to give you a little glimpse into what our life as homeschoolers looks like. So this is a little tour of our homeschooling room. We are lucky enough to have a spare bedroom downstairs, so we get to use that as our schoolroom. But you definitely don't have to have a dedicated room. Oftentimes we end up right at the kitchen table because it's convenient, and that's just fine to do as well. So before our week gets started, I spend about 2 to 3 hours over the weekend kind of prepping for our school week. So I put together a lesson plan for each girl that goes in their binder, and that tells them the assignments and lessons that need to be done each day. I let them pick the order in which they want to do their assignments, and they highlight them as they are completed. I also pull any pages that need to be pulled and put them in the tabs behind their binder so that they're able to easily find each assignment as they're ready to go ahead and start completing it. On each of their desks, they have a little container that has their main supplies: scissors, glue, pencil, highlighters, and then they also have this little holder that keeps all of their workbooks. The pages that I don't rip out: handwriting, vocabulary, spelling, a silent reading book, flashcards, stuff like that. So I try and make it so that everything is right there and easily accessible for them. This is just a little glimpse into some of the curriculum that we've gotten from the Resource Center. The Resource Center is awesome because there are so many options there, and my girls are very different in their interests and in their learning styles. So it's nice that I'm not tied to a certain curriculum, and that I get to pick the curriculum that will work best and be the best fit for each of my daughters. This is a picture of a task that we did this week. We ordered a butterfly kit with our Julian vendor funds, and so my youngest is observing those caterpillars and drawing pictures and writing notes in a little observation journal. So I love doing activities like this that bring science to life and make it fun for them. I included this picture of us baking a cake to show that we use everyday activities around our house to talk about what we're learning. So my oldest daughter is learning about physical and chemical changes. So we had to make a birthday cake, and while we were making the cake, she took pictures on my phone and then later created a presentation that talked about the differences between physical and chemical changes and gave examples all tied to baking a cake. So that's one of the things that I love most about schooling my own children, is that I can always be tying back to what they're learning. We do art as part of our homeschool week. Each of my daughters does about a project a week, unless we run out of time. They love doing art projects. Most of the time we use an art DVD program, so I pop in the DVD and they watch the lesson and create the project along with it. And they have to finish their schoolwork that's on their checklist before they do their art project, so that works out to be a great incentive for them. You also might notice in a lot of these pictures that my kids are in their pajamas, and that would be another pro of homeschooling, is that sometimes we get off to a slow start and they'll do school for a few hours in their jammies. So one of the other things that I love about homeschooling is the flexibility and the gift of time that it's given us. A couple weeks ago we got a nice rain and the Santa Rosa Plateau was just beautiful, so we were able to do a little bit of school in the morning and then head out to the plateau and explore some of the plants and animals that are native to that area, and go for a neat hike and spend time with friends. On Fridays, my girls go to the Julian Friday Learning Center classes, and this is the highlight of the week, I think, for all of us, because by Friday I'm ready to have a day off and they're ready to go and see their friends and see their teacher, and they do a lot of neat things there. This picture was from the Friday before Halloween, where they did a costume parade, and my daughter was super excited that she won Best Costume. So that's a really neat part of the week for us. We also use our vendor funds for dance classes, and my girls really love to dance, so it's really neat that we get to use vendor funds for this and include it as part of our homeschool week. Also, we use vendor funds for art activities occasionally. So this was a pumpkin hand building clay class that we attended, that we signed up for and used vendor funds for. Another part of homeschooling that I just love is all the field trips that we're able to do. So this was a field trip that we did on our own to a children's museum, and the girls just had such a fun time. This was a pretend grocery store, so they played in there for hours. This was a Julian-sponsored field trip to the Living Zoo in Palm Springs, where we got to learn about all sorts of animals that are native to that area and even got to feed carrots to a giraffe, so that was super fun. We also did a Julian field trip to the Apple Store, where the girls learned how to make slideshows and videos using iMovie, and that's something that they still like to do and will play around with on our computers at home. And finally, this is a picture of some of our friends and some of the great kids that are on my roster and that I get to work with. And I included this because there's definitely a misconception out there that homeschoolers are just at home and they don't have friends, and I just have to tell you that that's not true. My kids have made some great friendships with other homeschoolers that are in our area, and we regularly get together with them and have a great time and really enjoy each other's company. So I hope this has given you a little glimpse into what our life is like as homeschoolers.